All right. Welcome to Sport of Kings. My name is St. Kramer with Brian the Grizzly. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? I can't believe we finally got to that Sunday night. I was like,
I know.
counting the moments. I'm like, all right, is it out yet? Is it out yet? No, okay, it's not. So
I know, like itching to watch it. You know,
it was out, right, guys?
I know. Yeah. Oh man. See if I can find it on Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about The Last of Us episode 3, which just came out the other day, or actually last night. last night. It right off the bat, so far, all 3 episodes, this reminds me of what old school HBO was. Like shit not made for the kids. Like this is the HBO shows were always things I was put to bed when I was a kid and my parents would watch out in the living room. You know, like that's what HBO is, you know, and I feel like this show is something like that. You get the kids to bed and then it's time for, you know, adult TV time, you know.
Let's go.
Grown up time. Exactly. You know, so yeah, definitely. And then Knox come in. I haven't seen this messed up, or I haven't been this messed up over an elderly couple since Carl and Ellie from Up.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I was telling my wife, I looked at her, I was like, man, I haven't done anything like this since Up, man. It's crazy.
I am not okay after this episode. You are not alone. You are not alone. Oh man. I love Nick Offerman. Love Nick Offerman. He is. And then him being probably the most manliest man you will ever see, you know, like he builds shit. Like his character on Parks and Rec is probably him in real life, minus the crazy conspiracy part of it, you know. But and him, probably one of the best things he's done in his career.
It was so weird for me. So I'm watching it, and my wife was like,
yeah,
Annie, yeah.
Any worship. So she's played tests, voice test, play test. She had died today. I saw it and I don't know why. She was young. So yeah, definitely rest in peace.
I have no idea exactly what happened exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, she was really young. 45.
Wow. That's the
45,
worst.
Man. Yeah.
That is the
worst. Died of cancer. Oh.
But once again, I mean, that's the worst disease of all time. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, cancer sucks, man. That sucks. That really does suck, man. I didn't know it was cancer. 45. She was so young.
Yeah, there's a moment of silence for her. That's hard. I'm just hate that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on talk about this episode. So, The Last of Us, playing the game. I don't remember anything about Frank from the game. In my mind, I feel like Frank was always dead when you met Bill. I feel like I don't remember knowing anything about Frank. And and I wish that's why I wish Brandon was here, because I was going to ask him that, because I don't remember it.
It's so long ago. I even asked my girlfriend, who I don't know if she played it, but I know she watched a bunch of like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and stuff. Like they did their playthroughs and she watched it. And even she was like, I don't remember, because it was so long ago. You kind of forget.
I know they weren't in a relationship. I know there was just always Bill and his friend Frank, and Frank was dead by the time you met Bill. That's why I remember. That's I mean, it was that small of a part, and they elaborated so much on it, and even the story I loved. I mean, he literally, like, the way their relationship developed was amazing. I was not in the mind frame of thinking that this is what I was going to get this episode. Really, I had no idea what I was going to get, and it's some things for me, were like, okay, that's weird. It's almost uncomfortable, because I didn't expect to see this much. Understanding the love really was meant to happen. It was important, and by the time they aged the 15 years, by the time the fight with the guns were coming out and they're shooting, he got shot. Well, Bill got shot, and Frank saved him. And Bill, it was funny because earlier in the episode, Bill was saying, "I'm sorry, I'm getting so old, Frank. I'm sorry, I'm getting older than you." And then the next time you see them again, you see that it's Frank that's the one that got sick. and Bill is still taking care of him. And though he's older, he's still doing everything for him, and he's softened up in his age. And it's obvious that Frank made Bill better. And I was telling my wife when he was talking about the whole suicide pact thing, he was like, let's get married. Take me to the boutique, have one great day. Let's get married. Let's do that. I looked at her, I said, there's no way that I can do that. They're going to go together. They're going to go together. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to go. And she was like, no, he's not going. I would never let you do this. I would never. I was like, this is what their life has been. Literally, Bill's life was over.
Yeah.
He gave up on humanity. But for 4 years, he was alone before Frank came. I mean, his life was over pretty much. And Frank saved his life. And the only reason he was doing it was because of Frank. And I thought that was so awesome. And then I understood exactly. I was like, yeah, he's taking the drugs too. They're going to sleep together.
I know, because like not only, well, I guess a spoiler if you already seen the episode or not. Because when he was asking him, he goes, this, and he was telling him the plan. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You're gonna, crush the drugs, and I'm gonna have the wine, and then I'm gonna fall asleep in your arms. And then I'm like, you need to finish that story, and then you wake up and you got to deal with me dead, and you got to bury me, and now you got to live the rest of your life without me. I was like, that's asking. That's
the most traumatic.
That's thing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like your end is gonna be this nice fairy tale ending where you get to spend your last day with the person you love, die in their arms in sleep.
And then I got put it all together and then stay here and deal with
but now you got to finish that story. Like, I got to wake up and I got to deal with it. I got to bury you. I got to do this. That's asking for a lot, and I get it. And then I knew that too. I'm like, he's going out with him, Romeo and Juliet style, all that, whatever kind of stuff. Like it makes sense, and I wonder, I'm like, do you really kill off Bill, but do you really kill off Nick Offerman? I'm like, he's a big actor.
That was the perfect way to do it, because the story is one of those things. You will never forget that story again.
Yeah.
When you talk about The Last of Us, we're going to talk about the entire season.
Yeah.
This story will stand out. Normally I hate when you go off of these B characters and off the main path, and it's nothing to do with the story, and it had everything to do with everything, and that love was serious, and I felt for it. Like, they did enough. I mean, some of the stuff I was like, oh, is that really necessary? Come on. And I think it's because I'm just a guy. Is that all this necessary? But at the end, I was like, no, this was totally necessary for me to understand where this love really came from, where it went, how deep it was.
Yeah.
I understand how important they were to each other.
Yeah. How, like, so right off the bat, I was very skeptical about it. That's just me being jaded because of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones just completely messed up my whole perception of like TV. Like, no one does nice shit. Like, everyone does something for something. And when you find out that they're both gay, and then it
was even weird. So yes, Frank was gay. Bill had never been with a guy.
See, but I thought, because how I think of TV was, especially in a post-apocalyptic world, Frank isn't gay. He's doing this just to live. He's like, oh, this person has everything I need to live the rest of my life in safety. Okay, whatever. Like, I'll pretend to be gay. And I thought that was going to be an issue where, like, I guess they were going to, like, something was going to happen, and then he's going to, like, I can't do it. I'm not into men. And then, like, it would set Bill off and make Bill go crazy. Instead, we got a happy love story, and it was so damn good. And I hate that people on the internet, because obviously I watch what other people are saying and how upset people are. Not only just like there's the whole like them being gay, but it's it doesn't have anything to do with the story and blah blah. I'm like, if you don't know what this has to do with the story, then you're missing the point of it. Because like all this big love story in the middle of like everyone dying, of like humanity is still important to have while everyone is killing each other. There's that part, but then there's also parts like this love for each other is getting pushed onto Joel.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So that note for Joel, because he knew only Joel would be the one to get there. And the fact that in that note when he had take care of Tess.
Yeah.
That's going to really affect him, and he's going to have to put that love onto something. That love that guy ignited again is going to put on to something, and that's what Ellie's going to be there, and that's all this is going to matter more. But you needed that love to something that for him to understand to ignite that.
Yeah, because like they even after Bill not wanting to trust Joel and Tess, they wind up trusting Joel and Tess. The letter was so great, and everything was like telling him we're protectors, we're that. I was like, oh, this is about her. It's about her. And then he throws in the Tess because obviously it would be about Tess and not a little girl that Bill doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
We as the viewers know, like this is the kind of people we are. We're protectors. This is we protect. We
our
do
job.
everything we do.
And not just this, but it's also Joel realizing. So his first love is his daughter. Number uno. She's this first love, and he will never get over that. Right?
Yeah. He didn't. Where's the watch?
He couldn't, but he couldn't get over that enough to even accept Tess as that much. He knew they were together, but they never did accept her to that point.
Yeah.
And now he feels like he failed again. He failed as a father. He failed as a partner. And he said, I'm not going to fail this little girl. And that's what's going to happen. And that's why the story was so important. From a small part, because I promise you, I have to read some of the comments, but I feel like Frank was never around. Like he was always dead. Like it was just a story, a backstory.
In the video game?
In the video game. And they took it and they ran with it. And it made so much sense. And I love what they did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of it, we'll get into some of the comments. So Knox said, Frank from the video game hated Bill and wanted to get away from him. You learned this from a note. It's implied Frank and Bill were lovers, but it was a blink and you miss it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, there's a lot of that in games, like one-liners and stuff like that. But that's interesting. Yeah. Then Knox also said, I was on guard with Frank. Yeah. Knowing he didn't like him in the game. Yeah. So I was waiting for Frank to betray Bill and abandon him. I was not ready for this love story. Yeah. Yeah. And it's same, man, exactly the same. I was waiting for Frank to somehow not betray Bill, but just like,
I thought you take the car and take the guns and drive off and not just leave them, but leaves them heartbroken.
Yes. And I was
and jaded. Heartbroken and jaded.
Yeah, I was waiting for something like that, but
hey Knox, Bill, this is a cold line right here. Just letting you know.
Yeah, Bill knew how to survive, but Frank knew how to live. Yeah, and
if I had an extra mic, I would drop the mic for you.
I know. I need to make a clip of that. Hold on. I got the perfect clip for it though. That and then that's kind of
that was it. That was their love, and having that love during the 20 years of all this stuff. We know what happened because Joel told us exactly what was happening, how fast everything happened. He tells us, shares what's going on, how fast it happened, and then in a blink of an eye, everyone was dead.
Yeah,
and of course, Bill didn't have to worry about because he grew his own food, he made his own steaks, he did all that stuff. So he's the perfect person to survive.
Yeah.
So I just I love this story. I thought it was so good. I remind me of Up. I was like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Not a month too late. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm more on that like survivor part of like how Bill is, because when Frank was like, oh, let me paint the house, let me paint this, I'm like, no. Like if you paint it, it looks new, and you're telling people are here. Like you don't want to put that target on you. You're like, hey,
he already has a gate.
Yeah,
so they gave him the barbed wire and a mountain of cars and all that stuff. They kind of knew they're there.
But that could have been from years ago. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Bill was, like you said, a survivor, and I feel like making things new and like having a gate, but all this nice, pretty stuff inside the gate, you're just asking for it. But like you said, but Frank knew how to live. Frank is like, listen, man, like we're still humans, we're still people, we still have emotions. Like we want to go shopping, we want to have nice stuff because we can have nice stuff. Like he said something along that line, and I was like, yeah,
I'm gonna go to the boutique. We're going to have dinner parties because we're going to have friends. He was like, what friends? What are you talking about? It's a freaking zombie apocalypse out here. He was like, yeah, we're going to have friends, Bill.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's something that my wife would have said, look, it's happening.
Like, and it wasn't because they were sick of each other. I was afraid that something like that it wasn't because Frank was sick of seeing Bill all the time. They liked being with each other all the time, which is like, that's not love.
That's a good relationship. A relationship, yeah. You get tired of that person sometimes, and you whatever. Like you can be mad. Me and my wife, I tell her, we yell at each other. We totally pissed off with each other, and then I'm gonna sit there on my couch in the bedroom, and she's gonna sit on the bedroom in the bed, and we're gonna watch a movie pissed off at each other. I mean, you know what I mean? Just because you're pissed off with someone doesn't mean you don't want to be around them. You're just pissed off at them. And that's what love is, and seeing that in this type of form, especially unexpected, was nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was, and people are saying like how it wasn't a good episode because it had nothing to do with the story. It wasn't like the video game. I'm like, listen, I don't want it to be like the video game. If you want the video game, go play the fucking video game. Like, I want to see a TV show. I think
the guy said, the director said, he's like, look, if the video game has something that's specific about it, then we're going to keep that specific about it. Mm-hmm. But if it has nothing about it at all, we're going to make a show.
Yeah.
And so if it has no storyline, then we're going to do that story. And we're going to make a storyline out of nothing. Just like it was the U.S. government that was the one chasing Tess. Mm-hmm. That was but the zombies made more sense. So they took liberties for that. Just made more sense. So I have no problem with them doing that.
Yeah. Same. It was that funny scene. He goes, oh, you were always like crazy or whatever he told Bill, what Frank told Bill. And he's like, he goes, oh, that when you thought the government was all Nazis, he's like, there's the government are Nazis.
He's like, well, they are now, but they weren't then.
That was, because that's like that's legit like relationship arguments of like just like random shit. It was both of those characters. I don't know who played Frank. I gotta look up that actor, but obviously Bill as Nick Offerman. Murray Bartlett. I don't know what else he's been in. He looked familiar.
I don't know where else he's been in, but what I thought that was really interesting is that we know Nick Offerman's been married for like 20 years.
Yeah, he's with
I don't know why I'm blanking.
What's her name?
The one that he was in the show with.
He was in Parks and Rec. It was one of his ex-wives in Parks and Rec.
That was his real wife for like for 20 years, and they've been together for forever. So the fact that he was able to do such a believable job and give
Megan Mullally, whatever her name is. Yeah, she's hilarious. They're both hilarious. Oh god, them together on screen are just fun.
Nick Offerman was able to be believable with Murray Bartlett. Like they had that connection. You understood that this is a believable character, and I gotta give him props for that. And some of the stuff I was like, this is too much for me. It's too much for me. It's too much. But I understood the love. I totally, and he did that. So I give him props for that. I mean, that's really good. I mean, I know he's really big in the LGBTQ. He's very big supporter and all that stuff. But music communities want you want to be represented by someone who you are. But I don't hear a lot of rage about it because he's done such a good job with it, and he is very big supporter of it, of the movement. And I don't know, it's just great. It was just a great story. I can't say more than that. Any more emphatic than that. Just it really moved me, and it moved my wife, and she was in tears, and I was like, I'm not crying, you crying. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was honestly one of the greatest love stories on TV in a long time, man. Like I think I was watching John Campea, and even John Campea, he says some out of pocket stuff sometimes, but yeah, he's entertaining. he said, he goes, that's it. Give this show every award ever. I was like, yes, yes. You know, it's like, because it's already 3 episodes in and we're so good, you know, and if you're crying now, oh man,
just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait.
And then Knox said, illness aside, Frank and Bill really had the best life you could have in this kind of way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hot
they water, hot showers.
Food. Yeah. Even you saw how Ellie was all excited. He goes, oh, they got hot water? Because we're taking a shower.
He said, no, you're definitely taking a shower, Joel.
Yeah. And they grew old with their spouse and died peacefully in their arms. Yeah. You know, had good food, security, safety. You know, they had each other, you know, so yeah, it was.
What can you ask in a post-apocalyptic? Post-apocalyptic. What can you ask for?
Yeah. As long as the changes are well written, I don't see the problem. People need to relax. 100% people need to relax. You know, this doesn't change the story of the main story
of anything. It doesn't change anything because, as you said, it was just like a floating line, like one little thing that happened in one scene, and they made it into this huge, beautiful story.
Yeah. It's not. This episode wasn't a filler. I want to say like it wasn't a filler. Because like the beginning was kind of important where Joel and Ellie talk and they talk about like how it all started, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously the ending, you know, they have a car and all that stuff is cool. But the middle is like, yeah, there was this really good love story, but it meant something to Joel as a character, you know, on who he needs to be because of who he is, you know, and he might have forgot that. And I think that one letter reminded him, you know, because we saw the impact of that letter on Joel because Joel knew their relationship. And so we had to know their relationship. So we knew the impact that it had on Joel, you know, so also, it was almost a filler, but not really.
This was the right way to do time jumps. 2 characters you can understand. And we got the whole understanding of these 20 years in this one episode. That's why I thought this episode was important. Or because we understand what happened in these 20 years, exactly how you saw the people, saw the skeletons and the girl in the dress, and you can go back in time and see they just drove them off the road and killed everybody, and just dumped them off the road. Because if you had nowhere to put them, killed them, and that's what they did. And it's almost like it shows how smart Bill was, and then how Bill created all this stuff, and then you see the time lapses, and when did people start raiding other places, and all that mattered in the story. It tells you the world. It built the world with one story. And I thought that was really good.
That's good. You know, because it did build the world, you know, because like, I think like, and you saw Joel too, where Joel was like, you know, when they met Bill, it's like, oh, I get why you have a gun pointing at me nonstop, you know.
But he's like, no problem.
Put that, at one point he's like, I put it away.
In my face,
yeah, you know, and I think he was trying to, and Joel still being a good guy, you know, saw that Bill was a good guy, but he had a obviously, you know, metaphorical and physical wall surrounding him, you know, so you know, and he was like, had to tell him, you know, like, listen, man, you know, we're not all bad, you know, considering what's going on, we don't all suck. And he tried telling him, he goes, listen, that fence is going to go around. You're going to get raiders, you know, and it flat out told you where it was going to go, and you're waiting for the raiders, and it still hit you, you know. So, but like you said, the time jumps were so good. You know, they made sense. You didn't need to sit around for 20 years and explain all 20 years. Like, you know, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and this is how it ended.
My only question for Bill was, why didn't he have a bulletproof vest? Did everything else?
Why was he standing in the middle of the street?
Like you didn't want to be covered, have a little bulletproof vest on, and be uncovered, and just. And he said, as long as you keep the gas on, it'll keep them, you know, from getting in here. So if you knew that, why the hell were you out there just having target practice?
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
That that's the one bad thing I hated about this episode was he's in the middle of the street shooting with a sniper-ish kind of rifle, and it had a nice little scope on it. I was like, you're telling me you don't have a spot up in your roof that you made a little spot where you have a full 360 around everything, and you can just pop them off,
and you don't have to put yourself at risk at all.
Stand in the middle of the street in white when it rains.
Come on, man.
But the issue was like, so he's doing his thing, right? And he's doing it pretty well in the middle of the street, killing bad guys. And then Frank comes out. He's like, Bill. And then he turns around and gets shot. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you told him like, hey, look at me. He was like, look, turn around. I was like, dude, of course he's gonna get shot.
You know what I thought? Honestly, oh, my wife's not watching it. I thought that's what she would do to me. I'm killing people. I'm doing all the stuff I'm going on, and she gonna call me like, Brian, stop. What?
Yeah.
I was doing just fine before you started calling me. I had to stop doing what I'm doing. Look at you, because if I didn't, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I watched it with my girlfriend. I brought that up. I was like, I'll get to you when I'm done. I already told her. I was like, you're there. I know you're there. That's why I'm doing the thing I'm doing. Let me do it. And then
Frank would just set his butt. He told him, get back there, and he would listen. We wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, he's like, hey. Just kept Bill. And finally, Bill turned around, bam, gets shot. I was like, but it's your fault, Frank. What the hell? But yeah, but that's just kind of like TV logic. So
that's marriage logic. What are you talking about?
Knox said, I also love the scene where they had a meal with Tess and Joel. And then Bill and Joel mirrored each other, made me laugh so much. Bill really had a gun on the table the whole time. Yeah, because that was Joel, because that's what the letter was about. We're the same. We're protectors. We're people who survive and want to protect the people we love, and it told you before the letter was even made, that they're the same.
Funny though, when Ellie was like, hey, so what's that thing on your cheek? He said, someone shot at me. So, oh, really? Oh. You survived? He was like, yeah, I survived. And I shot at him. Did you hit him? No. Neither one of us hit. That happens a lot around here. He was like, man, you guys need to learn how to shoot. I thought that was a cool thing.
A good one.
Nick Offerman.
And then he really did. First thing got me was Bill's vulnerability when he was intimate with Frank, not only as barely as human kind, but he wasn't free to be queer as well. Yeah.
That's huge.
Kind of a double whammy, like a survivalist he called himself, or like a doom prepper.
Yeah.
Kind of has like very much like him, a safety place, all that stuff, doesn't really have a lot of people around him, or very small amount of people, but yeah, man, it was so good. Nick Offerman, that's why I'm like, they're not gonna kill Nick Offerman off in the same episode. They did, and it was great. It was great, because I'm like, you don't get Nick Offerman to be in a TV show and then get rid of him that quick.
And then one thing I gotta say, when Frank said, I don't think I approve of this whole idea of you taking this poison with me. I'm like, really?
He goes, but objectively, it's the most super romantic. I was laughed.
I was like, that is such that's a marriage. That's a long relationship with someone that you know inside and out. You really do know, and like, it's like, I don't really approve of this. Of course, you're gonna say that, because it's okay for me to kill myself, but for you to go, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, I don't want you to die.
This is crazy. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. But that was really good. Yeah, the whole thing, man, the whole thing, and I liked even how it ended. With the window open and it pulling back, so you see Ellie and Joel drive off in the truck. And it cuts back into their room where they're in, because the window's open.
I was afraid they're going to show them. And I actually told the girls to get out, because the girls jumped in my room. I was like, get out, hurry up, what's wrong with you?
Go see dead people. No, I don't. I was, for a second I was, but I'm like, no, they're not, because you that would have ruined the story. Their love story is seeing the two dead half skeletons.
I don't know, because it only been a couple of months. It could have been just them holding each other.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean,
and gone.
Yeah, it would have been skeletons, but it would have been a mess.
Yeah,
it would have been a mess. But no, I thought that. But the song, so well shot, and just pulls in, and the breeze is just going, and you knew it was their room because it was open. The window was open, second floor. Oh man, that was great ending to it. Great ending. The tears started for me when Frank was stating he wanted to die. Oh yeah. And Bill was looking at him. Then he turned around and was sobbing. Yeah, Frank made a pain noise and started to cry too. Yeah. But
I couldn't
yeah, that
imagine.
was
Honestly, I couldn't imagine having to go through that. I would just, I'll break down. I'm like,
a
no,
lot.
I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Bill's a lot stronger than me. I'd be like, nope, not happening. And I'll be
You know,
too selfish, but I don't think I could have done it.
yeah,
We die when we
yeah,
die.
yeah. I mean, it's hard seeing a loved one
Suffer.
slowly deteriorate in front of your eyes, and you're just like, damn. And especially,
With
no
only what
hospital, no
like
anything, like,
Advil.
yeah,
Like,
shitty, whatever shitty meds, that they probably got from Joel.
yep,
So,
exactly. I didn't think about they
yeah,
probably got it from
yeah,
Joel. Yeah.
yeah. Because he said when they first met, he goes, "Oh, there's stuff out there." He goes, "There's supplies, blah blah blah, medicine." I'm like, "Oh, medicine. So somebody's gonna get sick." I thought it was gonna be Nick Offerman.
But he was also, he was giving them medicine for that's what he was selling to the guard.
Yeah. Well, he was getting painkillers, I think, wasn't there some shit?
Oh, he was
I
getting
remember.
them morphine, or no, it was Molly. He was getting a Molly.
Was it Molly? Nice.
Yeah. So
yeah. But oh man, great episode. Great episode. The last time I checked, I think this episode had like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think
I don't
a way
know
to look at
anyone who is a critic to look at that episode and say something wrong with it. There's probably something wrong with you before you're saying something's wrong with that.
There's a way to look at individual episodes. With it. But yeah, man. I think for the most part, it's being well received. There are obviously people on the internet, stuff like that.
No, there's no rating.
Yeah, there's no rating. But yeah, but you have like a bunch of people in here, like, somebody said, like, they prove that true love survives the apocalypse, which is like, that's an important thing you forget about. You forget, you're like, yeah, surviving, but the whole part of this story is, what's the point of surviving when, like, you're gonna kill innocent people, because they might be infected. Like, you're saving humans, but you're taking all the humanity out of it. So it's like, what are you left with? You're getting rid of the monsters, the zombie monsters, and replacing it with,
you can see that
other monsters.
The zombies killed some of us, or whatever, the fungus killed some of us, and we killed just as many.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this was definitely great episode. Great episode. Do you guys have a favorite quote from this episode? Oh shit, I think I just.
Yeah, it's one of the ones you talked about with Bill Frank.
Yeah, I just said it too.
He says, "I'm satisfied. I'm old. I lived a good life," and he was like, "That's horrible. I don't approve of this, but that's terribly romantic." Yeah, I think that was a good one.
That was a good one. But the one that I liked was, I think, when he was trying to paint the fence. He's like, "No, we don't." And then he goes, "Why do you want to do it?" He goes, "Because we want nice stuff." And then it was like, "Yeah, you want to live. You want to have nice stuff when you're alive. Like, if you just want to eat dirt and, like, live in the ground, like, that's not living. It's not being human."
It was something like, what about the when he's talking about, I left clothes out for you. He's like, "What clothes?" He's like, "Oh, thank you." And he was like, "Can I get like 5 more minutes of this? Because this is amazing. I need this." Like, that shower, it kind of really explained the whole shower thing. I thought that was hot water. Like, how smart it was that he knew exactly what, I'm going to turn this one on. We're going to have hot water going on forever. And I got this generator ready to go. I got all this stuff. Got enough gas. I thought that was creative, really good.
Yeah, it was good. Did you have a favorite quote, Knox, during it?
That's a good question.
But overall, man, this was, oh my god, and we're only 3 episodes in out of 10, and it's already just one of the greatest shows on TV.
Knox, that's a good one.
So mine was when Bill said, "I wasn't afraid before you showed up." Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, that hit the heartstrings for sure.
Yep.
The whole strawberry scene. The strawberry scene was so. Nick Offerman making that little like the little giggle thing. I was like, and it's so like, warm heart because I was like, you haven't had a strawberry at that point. It would have been 10 years, I think it was already in 9 or whatever it was. It was, so years of just not having a strawberry, and just like how happy something so trivial means in that kind of world.
I love the fact that he was like, which gun?
Yeah, because of how he is, and then it all just went away as soon as he bit into the strawberry, so that was a cool little scene, because again, a person that knows how to survive, like you said it the best, man. That is one of the best things, like Bill knew how to survive, but Frank knew how to live, and they needed each other for that, they and
the quality of their life went up so much, and that was just it was such a great show. It felt like it was a movie. 70 minutes, and it was 70 minutes well spent. It really was.
It really was. Yeah. It was super, super, super great. And I am a diehard Nick Offerman fan. I freaking love him. I'll watch all the stupid shit he's in. He did like some weird thing with on what's that NBC streaming thing. Forgot he did with the other chick from Peacock. He did it with what's her name from Parks and Rec. The main character, but they had like something going on. But yeah, he's a cool, and then seeing him like that, I was expecting him like, oh, he's gonna be cool in the show, which he was, but man, this blew my mind. Also, when Frank assured Tess that they'll be working together, then Frank gives Bill the side eye and saying, "We will." that's married energy. Yeah,
you know that look too, like, yes, we will. Mm-hmm. Put my head down. Like, what she said. Yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
I know my place.
No,
and also when you come in and then I even talking to you, they're talking to your wife about you, they're talking to your girl about like, so how is he? I'm right here.
Yeah, like, you can ask me.
I don't get to determine these discussions, huh? No, you don't matter.
Yeah,
and that's what Bill didn't matter. Frank was the entertainer. He was the one doing everything, and Bill was just like the guy. Whatever. You over there.
You're the guy at the door that lets people in. Like I'm the party guy. Yeah. Really, really good. Even them just eating outside, I thought was interesting. You know what I mean? Like just the way the world is, and then I'm sure like Frank is like, no, we're gonna eat outside.
Yeah, you're not walking in. No, you're not walking into my house. I'm pretty sure that's what Bill said. I don't trust you in my house.
That's a good compromise too. But just being a zombie show, and we only saw 2 zombies, in it, was pretty and very, very kind of short. But yeah, man, it was great episode, man. 10 out of 10. I want to watch it again. For sure.
I'm pretty sure we will watch it again. So that's saying something because we don't do that.
Yeah.
I do it, but we don't. My wife's like, no, we're going to do it.
Yeah. It was so well done. But Knox, I'm assuming you obviously really enjoyed the episode as well. Anything else before we close it out?
No, I mean, I think it was well rounded. I'm glad we did this. I was so excited to talk about this. So this is great.
Yeah. But so we'll close it out there. If you're watching live, stick around. We'll probably hang out for a couple more minutes before we close it. If you're watching our replay, we appreciate it. Thank you for watching our review of episode 3 of Last of Us. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. What's your favorite quote of it? What's your favorite moment? Or did you not like it? There's a lot of people out there that are not liking it for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. So let us know. We get to chit chat. Everyone has their opinion, so we don't want to say yours is stupid and sucky. Unless
I like to hear your comments. I like to hear different people's comments because we all need our different viewpoints to really understand each other. I mean, that's the point.
Yeah. So, but we want to thank you. Hit that sub button. We're almost on our way. I would say almost. We're on our way to 1,000. So, hit that and you let. Excuse me, my mouth is so dry, talking too much. Hit it. And then when we go live, so you can join us when we are talking about all these fun topics.
Yes.
But that is it for honestly, us.
Our chat really drives the show, and we really love having people in chat. So that's why we want you to join us for the live shows. Thanks.
Yes. We do movies and we do TV, all the popular stuff. So we always have fun. But that is it from us. For myself, Tim Kramer, and Brian. Appreciate you guys, but we will see you guys in the next video. Later.
Thanks, guys.